Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE Monday Night Raw on May 13th, 2013. And just to go off and say right from the get-go, I felt that this go-home show right before Extreme Rules Raw was kind of meh. It really didn't do anything to sell over the pay-per-view all that well to me. They did do a couple things well where, adding the match with Antonio Cesaro and Kofi Kingston for the United States title, officially announcing Chris Jericho and Fandango, and whatever match they're going to be. Those two matches don't have a stipulation yet. Hopefully they'll put some kind of stipulation into them here very soon. And also adding the Team Hell No versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of the Shield as well for the tag titles in the Tornado Tag match. That should be a really fun match to watch at the pay-per-view on Sunday. So, but all in all, it just really didn't come off all that good to me in any way, shape, or form. Just in the terms that they did very little of setting up any of the other storylines. They did a few, and they did do with a few of the feuds with Chris Jericho and Fandango right from the get-go. They did the dance-off, which actually the segment came out to be really good in my mind. And it's not to say that I want to see more dance-offs or anything, because I really don't. Just the way of them using Fandango this time around and having Summeroo, get an injured ankle, and feign an injured ankle, and then leading into Fandango getting the advantage over Chris Jericho, and it really came off well. And I think this is what they really needed to be doing with Fandango the entire time. I really liked what they did here, and it leads in well to the pay-per-view as well. The Randy Orton Antonio Cesaro match, albeit quick, was still really good in my mind. It was still a really good match in my mind. It really did nothing though for the Randy Orton Big Show feud, and of course Antonio Cesaro doesn't have a feud going into the pay-per-view, so he was kind of just there. Kofi Kingston's match with Damien Sandow wasn't too bad either, but really did nothing again outside of the announcement of his match with Dean Ambrose of the Shield at the pay-per-view for the United States title. Ryback versus Zack Ryder squash match. What else can you really say there? Nothing all that good about it. Honestly, best match of the night, at least in my own personal opinion, was the six-man elimination tag match, Shield versus John Cena and Team Hell No. It was just a fun and entertaining match. I like the way that they, even though ended the match in DQ, still put the Shield over and made them, get the final say before leaving. I also like the using of the heel tactic as well for Ryback to come out there right afterwards and further injure the ankle of John Cena. That was a nice little touch that they added on there. I've liked where they've gone with Ryback as a heel at this point, and they continue to do a really good job with it. Hopefully they can continue it as well into the future. But pretty much after that, really nothing you can really say be all that good, because of course Dolph Ziggler with the concussion he received last week is saying that he won't be medically cleared, so they had to cancel the ladder match. That sucks in general at that point. At least there's an I Quit match now with Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger, and they're making it a #1 contenders match versus a world title match. So they obviously want to keep Ziggler with the world title for a little bit longer and see how long they can build him going into the future. So hopefully there won't be too many more complications with him with the concussion, and he can come back really soon. And pretty much the last little bit I wanted to talk about would be the Triple H and Brock Lesnar confrontation right at the end of the show. They pretty much led the entire show with this confrontation and when it was going to happen. I like the aspect that they had the cage right then and there. It gives you that nice little snippet or that little feel going into the pay-per-view that they're about to go into a cage match. The promos by Paul Heyman and Triple H were actually really well done again. Then again, it's them, so they're going to deliver at least a decent promo. The brawl at the end with Brock Lesnar and Triple H was also well done. It was good to give Triple H the head going into the pay-per-view. Obviously, outside of what you've seen. You haven't seen much in arena type build to this match, so they kind of had to throw it all together into one segment here, and they did a decent job of it at that point. So yeah, that's pretty much my entire review for this week's Raw. Like I said, it was kind of meh. Really didn't have any good. It had some good build, but it really didn't do anything to sell the Extreme Rules pay-per-view going into Sunday. So yeah, that's my review this week for Monday Night Raw. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.